technology transfer people, there are the incubators, there are the business angels. So lots of these innovation aspects are quite well covered, but as it is very complex, an added value could come out of bringing these different stakeholders and disciplines in this innovation knowledge community, which the EID is planning to become together. One could also take it from another perspective. Innovation, I think we all agree, at least if we speak about innovation from a technology point of view, is a local phenomenon. It is not something that you can make from Europe. We cannot invent really at the EU level. Inventions are done at the local level in a certain ecosystem where stakeholders and expertise come together. If one or the other is missing, it won't work. So this is what it is at the local level. But we think there is also an interest to have this innovation ecosystem at the EU level, and this is what we try to do with the EID. Also, it looks like there is no strategic approach to innovation in Europe, which is maybe understandable because it is so complex. There are so many disciplines. There are so many aspects of innovation. And also, if you look into the European Commission, you can find easily 6, 7, 8 directorates general that deal with innovation and the different aspects, but nobody's really responsible. So the EID will make an effort, and let's take again the example of research, where now in the 7th framework program we developed this strategic research agenda in the European technology platforms. We could do something similar with the strategic innovation agenda for Europe. And yeah, this is certainly a longer-term goal. We will start much more on the ground and practically oriented. But once we get all this knowledge and stakeholders together, I think then we have a very good basis to go a step further and look into a more strategic approach on innovation for Europe. Areas of activities, this is not exhaustive, it's just a number of areas that we have identified where the innovation dialogue should become active at the policy and strategy level at a later stage, but the whole issue of human resources, starting from primary, secondary, and tertiary education to the questions of managerial talent, to the questions of creativity. I think there is a lot of the creative industries, and I think you belong also to this. There is a lot of room and aspects within this issue of human capital or human resources. Then the whole issue of knowledge exploitation and knowledge transfer. In our conferences, we regularly had representatives from the European Patent Office. There are thousands of patents sleeping, dorming. There is a lot of information, interesting information that could be used to exploit for exploitation into commercial products in the patent system. Financing still is a very big issue. Maybe if you want, I go in a bit more detail in that. And then the issue of the small and innovative businesses on the one side during the early phases and startups, and then what we terribly need and what we are lacking a lot in Europe is these gazelle companies, the fast-growing young companies that from a very early stage of their work should access the international market and so on. And this is where we want to develop tools and measures and help help them to do it. Then from a regional perspective, innovation also plays a strong role from a regional perspective. This is why we are planning to do pilot projects on a regional level, where we use the innovation knowledge that we are collecting right now in this project. And as I said, innovation communication, I think it would be worth having a separate event on that and see how we can, what we can do to make innovation more acceptable, more interesting to the whole society and citizens, and but especially then also to the scientific workforce to stay here in Europe and find interesting environment to innovate. Now, as I already said, there are many organizations in the EU that already work at the EU level that deal with certain aspects of innovation, and for all of those the EID is open. Some already work with us, and we hope and we are confident that we can get all these stakeholders as time goes by into the platform. The main approach is bottom up. We want to make sure that the needs and the requirements of the innovation practitioners are heard, are listened to, and that on the other side, and that these needs and requirements are reflected in the future better in the framework requirements, legal and economic, and then that in turn these innovation practitioners can really help implementing what we call Lisbon and the Lisbon objectives on the other side, because I think there is a very huge gap between these innovation policy ambitions and the needs and the requirements of the innovation practitioners, and this is also an important dimension of the innovation dialogue that we talk. So the value proposition, I just read it: provide knowledge and services on all aspects of innovation with a particular focus on the needs of small innovative businesses during their startup, but also their growth phases. So innovation stakeholders coming to the innovation dialogue, they will bring some of their knowledge in a certain discipline, and they will be able to access complementary knowledge, innovation knowledge from other disciplines, and this will be the real added value they will get, and the EID will become a sort of one-stop shop for innovation for the different stakeholders and the different disciplines, where independent in which part of the innovation value chain you are, you go and you find and you get what you need. Therefore, we will also develop a virtual collaboration platform where even the end user could go, although, let's say, the EID is rather an organization of members that are more intermediaries that help the end user, the SME, to do innovation. Because, as I said, from an EU level, we are not in a position, if we do not want to provide services to the innovator on the local level. We cannot do this, but we can help these, or bring together these many intermediaries, and these can be regional development agencies, these can be universities, these can be science parks, incubators, whatsoever, that then provide help to the final end users. We will set up an international non-for-profit organization with a structure that is has no surprise. We try to define a little bit the different categories of the stakeholders, from industry